Welcome to the Maryland Tech Council's 2021 Virtual Leadership Assembly, presented by AT&T. AT&T helps family, friends, and neighbors connect in meaningful ways every day. From the first phone call 140 plus years ago to mobile video streaming, AT&T innovates to improve lives. Learn more at maryland.att.com. Today's program is also supported by our legislative hosts. Alexandria Real Estate Equities, the premier owner, operator, and developer of collaborative life science campuses in the nation's top innovation clusters. Alexandria's Maryland campuses, encompassing 3 million square feet of essential lab space, enables transformative discoveries to improve human health. Amgen, committed to unlocking the potential of biology for patients suffering from serious illnesses by discovering, developing, manufacturing, and delivering innovative human therapeutics. AstraZeneca, pushing the boundaries of science to deliver innovative, life-changing medicines used by millions of patients worldwide. The Maryland Department of Commerce, here to support Maryland's business community. Lilly, uniting caring with discovery to create medicines that make life better for people around the world. Ironbow Technologies, delivering enterprise solutions to federal, commercial, and healthcare clients. And Pfizer, breakthroughs that change patients' lives. The Maryland Tech Council thanks all of our sponsors for their generous support of the 2021 Virtual Leadership Assembly. Now, your host, Maryland Tech Council CEO, Marty Rosendale.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you everyone for joining our Virtual Leadership Assembly. Even though we're not able to gather together in person today, we're glad that we can take this moment to connect with our elected officials, highlight some of the great work from Maryland's life science and technology companies, and share our policy priorities for 2021. For those who don't know me, I'm Marty Rosendale, CEO of the Maryland Tech Council. Maryland represents one of the largest life science hubs in the country, with over 2,700 biotech and life science firms that contribute to more than 41,000 high-paying jobs in the state. Our technology sectors in cybersecurity, the Internet of Things, health tech, and many others are world-class. With over 460 members who drive innovation and benefit our communities, the Maryland Tech Council is the premier technology council working year-round to advocate for interests impacting the life sciences and technology industries in Maryland. On behalf of our members, we engage with policymakers at the local, state, and federal levels to address threats and opportunities that are critical for the business interests of highly competitive life science and technology companies. The Tech Council also serves as an important connector between businesses, communities, and the government, facilitating conversations and driving important change. Over the past year, our members have focused on overcoming the challenges presented by the COVID-19 pandemic and recession. Many have been integral to directly combating the pandemic. Over 40 Maryland life science companies developed and manufactured COVID-19 vaccines and therapeutics, improved diagnostic tests, and provided clinical research and technology support to ensure safe and effective healthcare delivery. To work alongside the talent and dedication found in the BioCapital region has been truly humbling and inspiring as we continue to develop innovative solutions, overcoming new hurdles. Looking at the current moment and the year ahead of us, I'm encouraged by how our member companies make progress and continue meeting the challenges of the day. At the same time, it's clear that the Maryland General Assembly has their work cut out for them to enact good public policies that help individuals and the business community persevere through the obstacles presented by the pandemic. This year's legislative session is unlike any other past session. Most of the business of the General Assembly is being conducted virtually, and opportunities to directly engage our elected representatives are limited due to COVID-19 restrictions. However, the Maryland Tech Council will continue being a principal voice in Annapolis and will influence and support legislation to keep Maryland a national leader in entrepreneurship and innovation. We will advocate to protect Maryland jobs and preserve the strong economic impact of innovative industries, prevent burdensome and ineffective government regulations on cutting-edge life science and technology companies, fight for additional resources as businesses recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, and protect Maryland patients by ensuring they can access the innovative health solutions they need. Together with our members and policymakers, we can find solutions to the problems facing Maryland residents and businesses and help sustain an environment where innovative companies can grow and succeed. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors for their support of today's event. Our title sponsor, AT&T, the legislative host sponsors, Alexandria Real Estate Equities, Amgen, AstraZeneca, the Maryland Department of Commerce, Eli Lilly and Company, Pfizer, and Iron Bow Technologies. So now I'd like to introduce Tim Lydon, Chair of the Maryland Tech Council Legislative Coalition and member of the MTC Executive Committee of the Board. Tim is a Director of State Government Affairs for Eli Lilly and Company and guides our efforts in Annapolis so that we can advance our policy priorities. He'll provide an overview of the legislative priorities for the Maryland Tech Council this year. Tim, welcome.
Thanks, Marty. The Maryland Tech Council plays an invaluable role as a leading authority across numerous policy issues critical to businesses and patients in our state. Our policy priorities for 2021 continue our efforts to propel Maryland to become the #1 innovation economy for life sciences and technology in the country. Furthermore, our priorities build on our successful efforts of the past few years to ensure our members and businesses across the state can continue developing groundbreaking solutions to some of the biggest challenges we face. Last year, while the General Assembly session ended early due to the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, we were still able to address and influence nearly 70 pieces of legislation that impacted our members. This included preserving the Biotechnology Investment Tax Credit and the Buy Maryland Cybersecurity Tax Credit Program, among other positive tax developments, even while the General Assembly sought to finance the Kerwin Commission recommendations to improve Maryland's education system. In addition, the General Assembly began tackling how user online data is collected, used, and stored, which is a growing concern for consumers across our state. While this issue remains a priority, we oppose the piecemeal approach that was taken last year toward protecting consumer privacy and instead advocated for a comprehensive study by the Maryland Cybersecurity Council to review current practices and provide recommendations. Ultimately, all the bills addressing consumer online privacy failed last year, but we expect to continue those conversations again this year. In working with Delegate G during the interim of 2019, the Maryland Tech Council was instrumental in crafting and passing the Maryland Small Business Innovation Research and Technology Transfer Incentive Matching Program. Very long title, but important program nonetheless. This program provides eligible small businesses an award or investment of 25% of an SBIR STTR grant, limited to $25,000 for phase 1 funding or $75,000 for phase 2 funding. The Tech Council plans on maintaining its momentum during the 2021 General Assembly session with 6 key policy priorities. The first priority is combating COVID-19. Throughout 2020, the Maryland Tech Council played a critical role in connecting businesses to resources and highlighting the important work of our members. This year, we will continue coordinating and leading the fight against COVID-19, including advocating for financial support for local businesses, healthcare systems, and residents. We will work with our partners across government to foster a safe recovery and to ensure that businesses have the resources they need. The next priority is fostering access to innovation. Maryland's innovation economy kicked into overdrive in 2020, with many Maryland businesses working on COVID-19 tests, treatments, and vaccines, while also continuing to drive development of other groundbreaking therapies. We will work with our representatives in the General Assembly to support public policies that encourage the development of innovative products and services like medications and therapies, of cybersecurity, advanced manufacturing, and artificial intelligence. We will also fight for affordable access to new therapies and solutions without regulations that negatively impact the development of creative and novel innovations. The next priority is promoting job growth. Maryland's biotechnology industry currently employs more than 41,000 Marylanders, and the innovation economy is only growing. We support increasing the availability of risk capital and workforce development programs to promote additional job growth and ensure that businesses that locate in Maryland have access to the talent they need. We also support policies that foster collaboration and budget allocations for curriculum, internships, and apprenticeships that again deliver the talent our members need. The next priority is building infrastructure. When everyone began working and schooling from home as part of the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw a clear gap in technology infrastructure as some Maryland residents cannot access high-speed internet or critical technology services. We will advocate for improved technology infrastructure to deliver the services Maryland residents need, especially in a virtual environment. This includes supporting policies that will increase the deployment of 5G across our state and support the development of extraordinary technologies that save, protect, and improve lives. The next priority is driving competition and access to capital. Maryland is home to some of the world's leading life sciences and technology companies and offers an abundance of benefits to support the business community and those working and living in our state. At the Tech Council, we're committed to ensuring we retain a competitive business landscape that attracts and retains world-class businesses. That's why we will be supporting policies that protect access to capital and encourage equity investment into innovation companies. The last priority, ensuring data privacy. As I mentioned earlier, it's imperative that we institute sound public policy that supports the right to data privacy and protection for consumers in Maryland. But such policies must be balanced and should not unintentionally weaken consumer privacy, increase security threats, raise costs, or introduce operation problems that cause confusion and frustration for consumers and businesses. Again, despite the challenges of the past year, we are positioned to carry our momentum forward in 2021 to address our policy priorities during the current General Assembly session. We will work with our members to engage and educate lawmakers about the overwhelming benefits of the life sciences and technology industries, especially given the positive impact our industry has had in the fight against COVID-19. While there is much we don't know about how this year will develop, the Maryland Tech Council will continue to support our members and advocate for sound public policy in Annapolis that ensures our innovation economy remains strong and supported. Marty, back to you.
Tim, thank you for that overview, and thank you for your volunteer leadership, and thank you to Lily for your support of the Tech Council and technology and life science industries in Maryland. Looks like we have a busy session ahead of us. So coming up next, we'll have some remarks from our Governor Larry Hogan, right after a word from our title sponsor.
AT&T is helping business move forward, and together we've changed the way things get done. From redefining collaboration
top of the line here
to coming up with new ways to serve customers and deliver products.
This one is cheddar. It's delicious.
So as your business keeps moving forward,
Oh, you look so healthy.
you can rely on the people and the network of AT&T to help keep your business connected. Let's take care of business AT&T.
So welcome back, everybody. As you know, today's Leadership Assembly is just one of MTC's signature events. So here are a few upcoming signature events that you might be interested in.
Join us March 24th and 25th for our second annual Virtual Digital Transformation Summit. This year's event will focus on the new normal we're facing and how businesses are using digital transformation to adapt to this new reality. We honor the best in Maryland's technology and life sciences communities on May 20th with our annual Industry Awards celebration. October 4th and 5th is our Bio Innovation Conference. It's a forum to discuss trends and insight into Maryland's life sciences industry and topics related to funding, structuring, commercialization, and government relations. You can keep up with these and all of our upcoming events online at mdtechcouncil.com. Now back to your host, the CEO of the Maryland Tech Council, Marty Rosendale.
So a lot of opportunities for everyone. So now I'd like to introduce Chris Carroll with AT&T, our title sponsor. Chris serves as a Regional Director, External and Legislative Affairs for AT&T Services, Inc. In this role, he advances AT&T's legislative, regulatory, and external affairs agenda in the District of Columbia and Maryland. Prior to joining AT&T, Chris served in Maryland state government, where he was Policy and Legislative Director to Governor Larry Hogan, and most recently as Chief of Staff for the Maryland Department of Information Technology. Chris, welcome, and thank you.
Thank you, Marty. On behalf of AT&T's more than 1,400 employees working in Maryland, we're proud to join you again for this year's Virtual Leadership Assembly. Together with our State President, Dennis Dunn, and our entire team, we look forward to working together during the legislative session and throughout the year. While this year's event looks a little different because of the coronavirus pandemic, we commend the Maryland Tech Council for its great work in bringing together innovators, job creators, government, and opinion leaders to celebrate our collective successes and to devise ways to meet the challenges that could impact Maryland's role as a life sciences and technology leader. It will take the leaders at this event working together to craft policies that are beneficial for Maryland, our respective companies' employees, our customers, and our neighbors. And we're very excited to have one of those key leaders with us today. Governor Lawrence J. Hogan Jr. was sworn in as the 62nd governor of the state of Maryland on January 21st, 2015. In 2018, he was overwhelmingly reelected to a second four-year term, receiving the most votes of any Maryland gubernatorial candidate and becoming only the second Republican governor to be reelected in the 242-year history of the state. In his first inaugural address, Governor Hogan reminded citizens of Maryland's history as a state of middle temperament and pledged to advance the best ideas regardless of which side of the political aisle they come from. He is recognized nationally as a strong, independent leader who consistently delivers real results and achieves common sense bipartisan solutions. After being elected by his fellow governors, Governor Hogan recently completed a successful term as chairman of the National Governors Association, and he consistently maintains one of the highest job approval ratings in the country. Please join me in welcoming Governor Larry Hogan.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you very much, Chris. By the way, you're looking good. We miss you here in the governor's office and on our team in state government, but thank you very much for that warm welcome. It truly is a pleasure to have this opportunity to join with some of Maryland's greatest innovators for the 2021 Virtual Leadership Assembly held by the Maryland Tech Council. Now, this is a truly exceptional organization that has done so much to advance Maryland's life sciences and technology sectors. Now, I don't need to tell any of you how incredibly important these industries have been to the state of Maryland and, in fact, to the world. And as we face this global pandemic together over the past 10 months especially, Maryland has always been immensely proud of our unparalleled biopharma cluster, made up of 500 biotech companies and 2,700 life sciences firms, and the highest concentration of doctoral scientists in America. We were first to map the human genome and first to develop a rapid test for Ebola, first to create an FDA-approved blood test for colon cancer, and in the words of the Washington Post, Maryland has played an outsized role in the worldwide hunt for a coronavirus vaccine. As we speak here today, nearly 40 Maryland companies are working on developing and manufacturing COVID-19 vaccines and therapeutics, on improving diagnostic tests, and providing clinical research and technological support to ensure safe and effective healthcare delivery. These companies include Novavax in Gaithersburg, which I had the opportunity to visit in September, and whose vaccine candidate is now undergoing stage 3 trials. Emergent Biosolutions, which has 6 locations in Maryland. They're also headquartered in Gaithersburg. They're going to be manufacturing AstraZeneca's vaccine in Baltimore, and the Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine underwent clinical trials just up the road at the University of Maryland back in the spring. And having had the opportunity to be vaccinated against COVID-19 on Monday, I can't emphasize enough how critical these vaccines are to bringing this pandemic to an end. And I can't tell you how proud I am of Maryland's pivotal role in developing and producing them. Our state is also immensely proud to be home of the nation's premier health research institutions, the NIH, the FDA, and Johns Hopkins, all of whom have been working around the clock to inform the nation's COVID-19 response. And we were pleased to announce in December that Maryland would dedicate part of our federal allocation of COVID-19 vaccine doses to support the vaccination of Maryland frontline workers at federal facilities like the NIH and the FDA. As the cyber capital of America and a national and international leader in information technology and cybersecurity, we're proud to be the home of our nation's premier cyber-related federal agencies, including the NSA, the U.S. Cyber Command, the National Cybersecurity Center of Excellence, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. And Maryland boasts more than 70 federal laboratories, 12,000 IT companies, and 1,200 private sector cybersecurity companies, from industry giants to cutting-edge emerging businesses. Incredible talent in these organizations form the very foundation of Maryland's unparalleled pool of cybersecurity and tech talent, a workforce that includes the highest concentration of doctoral scientists and engineers in America. We're second among all 50 states for the concentration of information security analysts, and number 1 in America for the concentration of STEM employment. In Maryland, our administration recognized very quickly the important role that cybersecurity had to play in our state's early and aggressive response to this unprecedented crisis. And one of the first actions I took was mobilizing 2,200 members of the Maryland National Guard for a number of important missions, including providing transportation support and standing up testing centers and assisting with the delivery of much needed medical supplies. But I also directed the Guard's cybersecurity division to take additional steps to ensure that our IT networks were secure and to help ensure that our hospitals and healthcare systems did not fall victim to malicious cyber attacks. Then, as more and more of our businesses moved to and began encouraging telework and adopted new technology during the pandemic, their vulnerability to cyber attacks obviously also grew. With support from our administration, the Cybersecurity Association of Maryland established the Cyber SWAT Team, a hotline for businesses to call if they had a suspected cyber attack, so they could immediately be paired up with a company or a cyber professional. These steps build on actions that we took more than a year ago when I issued an executive order establishing the Maryland Cyber Defense Initiative. No state in America is better equipped or better positioned to address the rapidly emerging and evolving challenges associated with the COVID-19 pandemic. But while our economy is recovering more quickly than many other states, America is still going through one of the worst economic crises in our history. And that's why earlier this month, I introduced a $1 billion Relief Act of 2021. which supports small businesses with sales tax credits to protect payrolls. It extends unemployment tax relief through 2021 and safeguards Maryland businesses against any tax increase triggered by the use of a state or federal loan or grant. This emergency legislation, which we have asked the legislature to act on immediately, comes in addition to and following on the heels of $700 million in emergency state aid that we already pumped out into our economy to fund a combination of new and existing programs to support the businesses and their employees who need it the most. This is our #1 priority for the 2021 legislative session, and I cannot imagine anything that could be more important for the legislature to pass. My sincere hope is that they will join me in quickly pushing for this much needed emergency stimulus and tax relief package, and that they will work with us in a bipartisan way as we guide our state through this pandemic and this economic crisis together. As we continue to ramp up our vaccine distribution process and secure critical aid for Maryland families and businesses, victory against this deadly virus truly is on the horizon, though frankly we still have some dark days that lie ahead of us. I'm amazed each and every day by the incredible resilience of the people of Maryland. In the most challenging circumstances, Maryland's scientists, manufacturers, researchers, doctors, nurses, epidemiologists, lab technicians, and cyber warriors have truly shown what it means to be Maryland strong. And with your help, we will keep Maryland on the road to recovery until that not so distant day in the future when we can take off the damn masks and we can gather in person to celebrate all that we have accomplished together. So I want to thank you again for inviting me to join you today. And I want to thank you all for the critical work that you do to keep Maryland the most innovative and cutting-edge state in America. Thank you.
Governor Hogan, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. At the risk of stating the obvious, I know that you're extremely busy, and I thank you for your leadership through the pandemic. I also want to take a minute and recognize your cabinet and their staff for all of the amazing hard work over the past year. Well, everyone, thank you for being with us for this virtual assembly this afternoon. We're looking forward to a great legislative session. And once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, title sponsor AT&T, our legislative host sponsors, Alexandria Real Estate Equities, Amgen, AstraZeneca, the Maryland Department of Commerce, Eli Lilly and Company, Pfizer, and Iron Bow Technologies. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Those of you in the technology and life sciences sectors, in business in general, thank you so much for everything that you've done over the last year and your leadership during this pandemic. We will continue to advocate on your behalf, and we'll look to you to help us as we need testimony and support in Annapolis. Thank you, everybody.